Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avatara varishtaya Ramakrishna te namaha Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the Supreme God Incarnate, the embodiment of all religions, who came to establish universal religion. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today's topic I have chosen from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna for our studies, and that is the true import of universal religion. There are so many incarnations coming on this earth every now and then for a specified purposes. Some incarnations, they come for the sake of whole humanity. When there is need of correcting the ways of people throughout the world, sometimes the incarnation with greater manifestation would descend on this earth to give hope and assurance to the whole humanity. So they come to articulate the universal message of the religion, the message of peace, goodwill, and the spirit of accommodation. These three are very important for establishing universal religion: peace, goodwill, and the spirit of accommodation. This great heritage found eloquent expression in Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. In them, India's ancient vision of universality found modern expression. Their message is of special interest because they are the creators of a new age, the age of synthesis of yoga, knowledge, devotion, and work. Romarola, a great French scholar, he has said, "The man whose image I here evoke was the consummation of 2000 years of the spiritual life of 300 million people." In the life of Ramakrishna, written by Romarola, he has mentioned like this. Ramakrishna's life, it is unique. If you study deeply, you will find tremendous impact generated by Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. His life encompassed everything and rejected nothing. That is, he accommodated all the varieties of sects and religions. He had such tremendous experience of the realization of the truth. So he could accommodate all these various types of religious practices, and he authenticated in a way all the religions of the world. Every religion in every part of the world has its validity and its utility and benefit. What is most important is that one should focus on the sadhana aspect of religion. You follow whatever religion you have selected and go ahead with the practice. Why should you bother about others people's ways and means of practicing religion? You don't have to bother about them. There is divine power operating in the whole universe. It is His responsibility. So, if you have that attitude, then there is no question of disharmony or dissension or tension in the name of religion. There is no need even to force people to come in your way. Why should you force anybody to come on your way? Everyone has the same way as you have. As you want to go in your own way, the other man also wants to go in his own way. So if you accept that idea, then there should not be any room for any conflict. You resolve your conflicts, realize the truth, experience the bliss of God, then share that bliss in an impartial way to whomsoever comes to you. That's the way we should adopt, and that's exactly what Sri Ramakrishna did. He just practiced all the major religions and arrived at the final truth that every religion leads a person to the goal, to the spiritual goal. That's a very authentic and validated utterance given by man of realization. That means no religion need to be condemned and no one need to be converted. So that we should completely understand. The more we understand, the better we enjoy the peace and harmony. Theists, agnostics and atheists, all these people had full access in Sri Ramakrishna's loving embrace. His life was the meeting ground of all religions, all paths and all sects. In his comprehensive scheme of life, everyone can find something to inspire him or her to lead the spiritual life. So Sri Ramakrishna's stress was on the practical aspect of life. Be practical, talk less and act more. Follow the principles in life. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped God as Divine Mother. He accepted a woman teacher and he made his wife, Sri Sharada Devi, his first student. Sri Ramakrishna was never dogmatic and never claimed any superiority for himself. He would always say, it's all by the grace of the Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother, she is doing her work. It is she doing. I am only just a channel or instrument for the Mother to operate. He firmly believed it, and through his life he has shown to us that's the way we should practice religion in our life. So, if you study Sri Ramakrishna, you find him as a great scientist in the domain of religion. He practiced all the disciplines of Hinduism. Like a scientist, he made experiments with religion and found that religious truth is verifiable. He also preached the disciplines of Islam and Christianity, and through them he found different faces of the same God. His amazing singleness of mind, sincerity of purpose, and passionate love for the divine demolished all superficial obstacles of dogmas, creeds and beliefs. Out of his realization of the truth, Sri Ramakrishna declared, as many minds, so many paths to the ultimate reality. He discovered the true import of universal religion, which is not a new faith or a new mode of living, but the ultimate truth of all religions, the experience of divine joy. He respected the uniqueness of each path and asked people to love the followers of all religions without disowning one's own faith. Elucidating this principle through an example, Sri Ramakrishna says that as a married woman serves her in-laws with love without affecting her intimacy with her husband in the least, so our love and respect for other paths will not diminish our loyalty to our own faith. Spiritual experience alone can help us to have real peaceful coexistence. He also asked people to learn from other traditions to make up for the deficiencies of one's own faith, as no religion is perfect, and hence there is great scope for learning from others to enrich one's spiritual as well as social life. Hinduism can be highly profited by emulating the noble and practical examples of equality from Islam and philanthropy from Christianity. The Hindu doctrines of unity in variety, respect for other religions, and the central importance of mystical experience can be immensely helpful to others. Sri Ramakrishna's personal experience of the unity of Godhead did help in different faiths, did help many people in different faiths, including Hindus themselves, to have a deep and abiding faith in God. Sri Ramakrishna's experience of universal religion encourages votaries of all religious faiths to live together in peaceful coexistence without any dissension. Sri Ramakrishna said, I have practiced all religions, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and have also followed the paths of the different Hindu sects. I have found that it is the same God toward whom all are directing their steps, though along different paths. We must try all beliefs and traverse all different ways once. Wherever I look, I see men quarreling in the name of religion, Hindus, Muslims, Brahmos, Vaishnavas, and the rest. But they never reflect that he who is called Krishna is also called Shiva and bears the name of the primal energy, Jesus and Allah as well. The same Rama with 1,000 names. And Sri Ramakrishna explains it by a beautiful, very impressive example. A lake has several ghats. At one of the ghats, the Hindus take water in pitchers and they call it jal. They call the water jal. At another place, Muslims take water in leather bags. They call the same water as pani. At the third place, the Christians take the water and they call it water. Can we imagine that it is not jal but only pani or water? How ridiculous. The substance is one under different names and everyone is seeking the same substance. Only climate, temperament and name create differences. Let each man follow his own path. If he sincerely and ardently wishes to know God, peace be unto him, he will surely realize it. Sri Ramakrishna has said like this in the Gospel. The democratic and humanistic temper of the age, demanding the inherent rights of liberty, equality and fraternity for all persons, is immensely fulfilled in Sri Ramakrishna's vision of truth, embracing God, man and universe. He said, I clearly see that he himself has become everything, that he himself has become the universe and all living beings. To Sri Ramakrishna, the entire universe is saturated with divine consciousness, but there is greater manifestation of God in human beings than other created beings. As such, to serve humanity in this spirit is to serve God himself. Ethnic religion brings artificial differences between one individual and another due to their dogmatic attachment to the superficial aspects of religion. Sri Ramakrishna wanted people to be friendly on the basis of their divine heritage. The solidarity of humanity can be achieved by recognizing the divine essence in people. We live in an unhappy and discontented age. There is a lack of direction and lack of faith. Happiness is what everyone is seeking, but the majority seeks in things which are evanescent and not real. No happiness was ever found in the senses. Happiness is only found in the spirit. Vedanta emphatically states that freedom is our real nature, and it is only God or the experience of our real self that can give us permanent happiness. Man may try through his technical advances to roll up the sky itself as if it were a piece of leather, but with all that he will never succeed in achieving peace and the end of his sorrows without realizing the luminous divine within him. The predominant urge of mankind is for happiness, and this impels man to struggle against the limitations and imperfections of life. It is, in a word, the eternal craving for freedom. Consciously or unconsciously, each creature is hearkening to that voice of eternal peace. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. We see this struggle for freedom recurring at three different levels. First, at the physical level, man wants to be free from discomforts, hunger and death. Secondly, he wishes to be relieved of mental sufferings, anguish, fear, boredom, the nervous breakdown. That is the outcome of a fast life. Most of our lives are enveloped by fear, which hangs around us like a thick layer of fog or a dark cloud. Various kinds of fear, real or fanciful, exerts a weakening and inhibiting influence on our lives, making us miserable. Anything that helps us in lifting this spectre of fear, even a little, is certainly a great blessing. We live in an unhappy and discontented age. There's a lack of direction and a lack of faith. This has been highlighted in this way. Never before was man so educated, yet so ignorant, so profusely equipped, yet so insecure, so much in plenty, yet in such penury, and so highly civilized, yet morally so low. Spiritual experience alone can give us permanent happiness. Thirdly, the most significant struggle of man is in the realm of spirit. Though he may not be aware of it, he is seeking freedom in God. Our true being is divine. The greatest common factor in all great cultures is a general acceptance of the eternal presence of God in us. This constant sense of the presence of God in us is indeed the common ground on which the great temples of cultures have been erected and respected. The yearning for immortality is constantly pressing us onward towards joy and liberation. Vedanta emphatically states that this freedom is our real nature, and it is only God or the experience of our real self that can give us permanent happiness. Every great saint in the history of the world has emphasized this one tremendous statement: the kingdom of God is within. Saint Paul says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." It is an excellent summation of the psychology involved. But people generally, they are carried away by the sense pleasures. But the truth is, happiness is not in the enjoyment of the senses. Sense pleasures are condemned only because they build a wall between the mind and the soul, between knowledge and ignorance. Much of our struggle in spiritual life is involved in making our mind pure from unholy desires, which, because of their destructive nature, hinder spiritual advancement. Most of us are obsessed with the things of the world. Instead of God, we seek the pleasures of the senses. To us, life is superficial and without real meaning. It becomes only an endless round of pleasure seeking, serving no other purpose. Swami Vivekananda says, happiness we see is what everyone is seeking, but the majority seeks in things which are evanescent and not real. No happiness was ever found in the senses. There never was a person who found happiness in the senses or in the enjoyment of the senses. Happiness is only found in the spirit. So we have to achieve that happiness. We have to hanker after experiencing that happiness coming out of the experience of the truth. So comes the need for moral and ethical life. Without moral and ethical life, we cannot progress in spiritual path. Why should we be moral or ethical? If the ideal of perfection is not accepted, if we do not believe that kingdom of God is within, and that perfection is to be achieved here and now, and not after we die, then certainly life has no meaning for us. Without morality, without inner check, the very foundation of ethical life cannot be laid. The expansion of consciousness is not possible without moral life. The great Acharya Ramanuj defined good and evil. He said, evil is that which contracts us, and good is that which brings expansion. Swami Vivekananda says, expansion is life, contraction is death. Swami explains evil as that which hides the Atman, the truth of God within, and good as that which helps to unfold it. There are so many factors responsible for this kind of thinking, but then every problem has a solution. People are becoming restless because of the force of the pull of desires, never ending multiplying desires. So desires really cannot be uprooted in total. But then, as I said earlier, there is a way. The way is the desires can be sublimated through renunciation, through restraint of the flesh, through development of our will. We can exchange fear and anxiety for the benevolent protection of divine law. In order to grow spiritually, we must renounce our attachment to those things which distract our attention from God. This does not mean killing the senses. Sri Ramakrishna says, so long as the passions are directed towards the world and its objects, they behave like enemies. But when they are directed towards God, they become best friends of man, for they lead him to God. The passions cannot be eradicated, but can be educated. A noted social thinker says, educators are guilty of violence when they tell students that they have no free soul but are passionate creatures. To be a victim of intellectual robbers who despoil man of his divine image is to create gravest social problems. Chasing the chimera of happiness. In some oil mills in India, bullocks are used that go round and round to grind the oil seed. There is a yoke on the bullock's neck. They have a piece of wood protruding from the yoke, and on that is fastened a wisp of straw. The bullock is blindfolded in such a way that it can only look forward, and so it stretches its neck to get the straw, and in doing so it pushes the piece of wood out a little further, and it makes another attempt with the same result, and yet another, and so on. It never catches the straw, but goes round and round in the hope of getting it, and in so doing grinds out the oil. In the same way, these are the words of Vivekananda. In the same way, you and I, who are born slaves of nature, money and wealth, wives and children, are always chasing a wisp of straw, a mere chimera, and going through an innumerable round of lives without obtaining what we seek. The great dream is love. We are all going to love and be loved. We are all going to be happy and never meet with misery. But the more we go towards happiness, the more it goes away from us. So, there's tremendous significance in the universal message of Sri Ramakrishna. And the more we read his life and teachings and apply the spiritual ideas in our life, we really become recipient of God's grace, and we really enjoy peace and happiness. Page 854. Master said, it is not easy to get rid of illusion. It lingers even after the attainment of knowledge. A man dreamt of a tiger, then he woke up and his dream vanished, but his heart continued to palpitate. Some thieves came to a field. A straw figure resembling a man had been put there to frighten intruders. The thieves were scared by the figure and could not persuade themselves to enter the field. One of them, however, approached and found that it was only a figure made of straw. He came back to his companions and said, there is nothing to be afraid of, but still they refused to go. They said that their hearts were beating fast. Then the daring thief laid the figure on the ground and said, it is nothing. This is the process of neti. Doctor said, these are fine words. Sri Ramakrishna said smilingly, what kind of words? Doctor said, fine, Master. Then give me a thank you. The Master said the words thank you in English. Doctor said, don't you know what's in my mind? I go to so much trouble to come and visit you. Master said smilingly, no, it is not that. Say something for the good of the ignorant. After the death of Ravan, his brother Vivekananda refused to be king of Ceylon. He said, O Rama, I have obtained you. What shall I do with kingship? Rama said, Vivekananda, be king for the sake of the ignorant, for those who might ask what riches you have gained by serving me so much. Be king to give them a lesson. Doctor said, are there such ignorant people here? Master said smilingly, oh yes, here you will find oysters and snails as well as conchs. Allah. Dr. Sarkar, who was a homeopath, gave Sri Ramakrishna 2 globules of medicine. He said, I am giving you these 2 globules. One is Purusha and the other is Prakriti. Allah. Master said smilingly, oh yes, Purusha and Prakriti are always together. Haven't you observed pigeons? The male and female cannot live separately. Wherever Purush is, there is Prakriti, and wherever Prakriti is, there is Purush. It was Vijaya day. Sri Ramakrishna asked Dr. Sarkar to have some refreshments. The devotees served him with sweets. Doctor said while eating, "Now I say thank you for the sweets, but it is not for your teachings. Why should I give that thank you in words?" Master said smilingly, "The essential thing is to fix the mind on God and to practice meditation a little. What more shall I say?" Pointing to the younger Naren, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Look at him. His mind totally merges in God. Those things I was telling you." Doctor said, "Tell the others also." Master said, "No. A man should be given food according to his power of digestion. Can all understand what I told you? I can't talk to everyone as I talk to you. Suppose a mother has bought a fish for the family. All her children have not the same power of digestion. For some she makes pilau, and for others she makes stew. These latter have weak stomachs." All laughed. Dr. Sarkar took his leave. It was Vijaya day, when people show their love and respect to their friends and elders with appropriate greetings. The devotees all prostrated themselves before Sri Ramakrishna and took the dust of his feet. Then they embraced one another. Their joy knew no bounds. The master was seriously ill, but he made them all forget about his illness. The embracing and exchange of greetings continued a long time. The devotees also took light refreshments. The younger Naren, M, and a few other devotees sat near Sri Ramakrishna. The master talked to them joyfully. He spoke of Dr. Sarkar. Master said, "I shall not have to tell him very much. When the trunk of a tree is cut almost to the other side, the cutter steps aside. A little later, the tree falls down of itself." The younger Naren said smilingly, "Here everything is principle." Master said to Yam, "The doctor has already changed a great deal, hasn't he?" Yam said, "Yes, sir. When he comes here, he loses his wits. He never talks about medicine. When we remind him of it, he says, 'Oh, yes, I shall have to give the medicine.'" Some of the devotees were singing in the parlor. They returned to the master's room. Sri Ramakrishna said, "I heard your music, but why did you make mistakes in the rhythm? I once heard of a man who was an adept in discord. You sang like him." All laughed. A young man, a relative of the younger Naren, arrived. He was bespectacled and foppishly dressed. Sri Ramakrishna spoke to the younger Naren. Master said, "You see, the young man was going along the road. He had put on a pleated shirt, and how he strutted. Now and again he would display the shirt by removing his scarf and then look around to see if anyone was admiring him. But when he walked, you could see that he was knock-kneed." All laughed. "The peacock displays its feathers, but its feet are very dirty." All laughed. "The camel is very ugly. Everything about it is ugly." Young man said, "But it acts well." Master said, "Yes, but it browses on briars. It will continue to eat thorns, though its mouth bleeds. The worldly man loses his children and still clamors for more." Let us stop here. That's why we are building universal temple of Sri Ramakrishna, to spread the message of universal religion, practiced by Sri Ramakrishna. The more people come to Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, they can be really happy in their own religion, and at the same time, they give respect to other religions also. That's the important message of Sri Ramakrishna. That's the purpose of this great incarnation, who came to help the whole humanity, not simply one section of the people. He came to respect and inspire people belonging to all religions. And he came to explain the real principles involved in religion. So, let us try to follow as much as we can. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly. The name of that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean, and quench that mighty forest fire worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bought for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, and each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant and sing the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when the heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.